I was in upstate New York in a small town, and I was standing in front of a drugstore. And in the window of the drugstore, they had a wheelchair on display in the window. Is that really an impulse purchase? I should get a wheelchair. That would really help with my paralysis. Then I wouldn't have to drag myself everywhere I go, like I've been doing for 10 years since my legs were blown off at the marathon. Okay. Bunch of fucking hypocrites, apparently. Because, let me point some out to you. Let me point some out to you, motherfuckers. You were just, like, seconds ago, laughing at a man with no legs crawling on the ground. You're just... And then at the end, you're like, oh, but not those particular legless people. No. We thought you meant just some asshole with a childhood disease who deserves to be laughed at. Not one of those. Now, we're laughing at all legless people equally. However you lost your legs. Ha ha ha. You haven't legs. And we've legs. I have legs. I have 2 legs. 2 fucking legs. That's the maximum amount. I fucking love having 2 legs. I fucking love it. I wouldn't like having no legs. I really don't think I would like it. I think it would suck. I think it would suck shit out of the balls of Christ. It's an old Southern expression. It's not used like it used to be. I think 2 legs is better than none. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. It's not popular. You're not supposed to say that because you're supposed to always be very positive about disabled people. But I think that puts pressure on them to be positive. What if they don't want to be? Because the only story we want to hear is about the amazing disabled people. He's amazing. He lost his legs and then he won the leg-having contest. What about disabled people who aren't amazing? Who are just ordinary with a sweatshirt and some potato chips, and he's going, fuck, I wish I had legs. No, this is better. This is better with no legs. Why is it better? Because you can do anything now. I can do 4 things. Fuck off. I just don't know that our positive, non-disabled attitude really helps. Like retarded people. We're gonna talk about retarded people for 20 minutes. That's what's gonna happen. We're going to discuss retarded people for 20 minutes. It's not okay to never speak of them. No, we're gonna talk about them. First of all, I want to talk about the word retarded, okay? Because the word retarded, it's a bad word, and people do not like the word retarded. They find it very offensive. Now, I'm a little confused by this, because it wasn't always a bad word. And I grew up in the 70s, and it wasn't bad back then. And most bad words were always bad. You know, cunt never had a day in the sun. There was never a time where the Santa Claus at the mall was like, come here, you little cunt, tell me what you want for Christmas. And then in the 90s, we're like, let's lay off a cunt a little bit there, gang. No, we used the word retarded in the 70s. We used it to identify people who were retarded. It wasn't controversial. It wasn't like, he's retarded. It was like, he is retarded. This fellow right here is retarded, right? I told you, yes, you're still retarded. He is retarded, everyone. And I grew up in Boston. We didn't say retarded in Boston. We said retarded. He's retarded. God bless him, he's fucking retarded. That's the way we used it. with love. Help the retarded. That's what people said in the 70s. Help the retarded. There was a lady outside the supermarket near my house every Christmas with a bell. She was like, help the retarded. Help the fucking retarded. You gonna tell me she was a bad person? She was helping the retarded. And I feel like we had more of them around back then. I haven't seen one in years. In the 70s, there was a retarded guy in a windbreaker on every street corner. We were using the word and they were more in our lives. I swear to God, they were more. They were in our culture. There was TV movies about retarded people all the time. Tonight on ABC, a retarded boy's dream. There was one, I remember with Sean Cassidy. I don't know if you remember Sean Cassidy. Some of you are too young. But Sean Cassidy, he began his career as a teen pop idol. He was a 13-year-old boy with a very hit song called Da Do Run Run. And he had feathered blonde hair and juicy lips. And he's on the cover of Teen Beat magazine. And everybody liked Sean Cassidy because he was sexy. He's a sexy boy. I thought he was sexy. I did. I thought he was really sexy. I was 6 years old. But I already had inappropriate sex feelings for teenage boys when I was 6. I was an old soul. I was a pedophile when I was 6. I used to go up to teenage boys when I was 6, like, hey, how's it going? That kid's weird, he's got a boner. Anyway. Not anymore, I outgrew it, but no. I'm not sexually attracted to teenage boys. I'm not. But I don't not get it. I mean, I get it. I'm not like, what? Like, you can see it. Like, I was at an airport once, and I'm walking along where people walk in the airport, and there's these chairs facing the aisle, and there's this family sitting there, a mom and a dad and 2 teenage boys, and they're like just both sitting with their phones with their legs. They're wearing like these shorts. One had cut-off shorts, and one had basketball shorts. And they both just had their legs open because they don't give a fuck. Both legs just splayed, and then just smooth, you know, just very. And I saw it. It didn't do anything to me. But I kind of wanted to stop and go, hey, fellas, let's close that shit up, huh? You're not getting me, but I know you're causing a problem for somebody in this airport. Let's close it up. I did not say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Anyway, let's return to the comfortable subject of retarded people, shall we? So Sean Cassidy. Sean Cassidy was a teen singer who then grew up. He was about 18. Now he was, old and gross. Nobody wanted to fuck him. So he started to act. And he had a movie on TV called Normal People, where he played a retarded man who wants to live a normal life. It was very inspiring, actually. And at one point, he didn't do like a big retarded character. He wore thick glasses. He talked like Elmer Fudd. That was the whole thing. So he goes up to the guy who runs the group home he lives in, and he says, I want to get a job. And the guys who runs it is like, Republican conservative. So he's like, you can't get a job. You're retarded, And, But then there's a liberal lady who works there, and she says, of course he can get a job. He's as good as anyone. So they let him get a job as an air traffic controller or whatever was available. And then he meets a woman who's also retarded who lives at the group home. He falls in love with her. It's a very nice love story. And he says, we want to get married. And the guy says, she said, but they're in love. So they get married. And then one day he says, we want to have a baby. And the liberal lady says, no fucking way. And they just shut them down right there. And that's the end of the movie. I swear to God, that's just how it ends. And the point of the movie is just, hey, there's a limit. Like, that's, I guess, what the point of it was. And that's pretty intense. But hey, retarded people were on television. We were talking about it. We were dealing with it. And they said the word retarded about 50,000 times in the movie. Now we don't say the word, and I don't see them anywhere. I guess that's my problem with it. And also, the word is not basically a bad word. It's a medical term. But it became a bad word because it's used as an insult, really. Not towards retarded people. Nobody does that. Nobody calls retarded people retarded to insult them. What would be the point of that? That would be like going up to a chair and saying, "You're a fucking chair." Like, what are you doing? No. People use it on their friends. Like, you're at a bar, your friend's like, "I don't have any more money for beer." And you're like, "You're fucking retarded. Do you know that?" And in that moment, no one retarded is insulted. They're not. Do you know why? Because they're not there. Because we don't include them in our lives. They're not at the bar. How many of you have a retarded drinking buddy that you hang out with? No, you take them to the zoo when they're little and then fuck them. This is what I find confusing about this thing, is that we told many generations of people that they are retarded. We told them that that's what they are, and they lived with it, and they dealt with it. And then we just decided it's a bad word. So did we tell them this? Did we go back to them and explain this to them? Listen, Nelson, I have something to tell you. You're not retarded anymore. You mean I'm cured? No. No. No, we're not even working on it.